As we have noted the symptoms, the physical examination also very difficult, and we should be cautious for the findings. The tenderness is the right lower quadrant, rebound and guarding tenderness are the peritoneal signs, rousing signs, psoas sign, that is retroperitoneal retrocecal appendix, then obturator signs, the pelvic appendix, rectal examination tenderness, cul-de-sac, and lower grade fever are all the signs to be observed in physical examination. The psoas and obturator signs we are demonstrating with this method, with the reverse stretching, and the obturator signs is demonstrated with rotating the limb like this. The specificity and sensitivity is not so much great, but still we create a guide for the diagnosis. WBC are also confusing, and they are high as high as 15,000 per millimeter of mercury millimeter cube in the normal pregnancy, and it causes the confusion. Normal appendix is less than 6 millimeter in diameter. Non-pregnant patient sensitivity is about 85% and specificity is 90%. Because of the pregnant state, the cecal displacement and uterine compression, the diagnosis becomes difficult. If we will not treat the appendicitis, the preterm contraction, labor, rupture of the appendicitis leading to peritonitis, sepsis, fetal tachycardia, maternal death, fetal death are complications, we have to treat the patient either medically or surgically. Increase in gestational age increases the complication rate, that is sure. And uterine contractions as high as 80% of patients more than 24 weeks of gestation. Appendiceal perforation in 4 to 9% of non-pregnant patients is there, in 57% of the pregnant patient, and that makes the great difference. Diagnostic problem is because of the position of the appendix. Normally in 70% it is intraperitoneal, 30% pelvic, retrocecal, retrochoric position. In pregnancy, the anatomical changes causes the changes in the appendiceal position. Gravid uterus causes the displacement upwards and outward, causes the shifting of the pen. Increased separation of peritoneum causes the decreased perception of somatic pain and isolation, localization. So the symptoms becomes vague, and the patient cannot convey the diagnosis in her words. Pain in right lower quadrant is most common presenting symptom of the appendicitis pregnancies regarding of gestational age. Physical examination is most available sign because we cannot be sure on lab investigation, even on the sonographic investigation. Fever and WBCs are again very dubious signs. The mortality of appendicitis complicating pregnancy is the mortality of delay. Delay because of the delay in diagnosis, and that is the main question. So we have to have some great differentiate diagnosis in our mind when treating the patient with the pain in abdomen. Treatment must be there, and if the suspicion is there, we should go directly for surgery instead of wasting the time. If we will delay the diagnosis and delay the treatment, there can be a generalized peritonitis, and it's devastating. Antibiotics should be given operatively. Second generation cephalosporin are referred, but many broad spectrum antibiotics can be continued. They can be continued post-operatively if there is no other complication like perforation, gangrene, and phlegmon. Laparoscopy is specifically safe in first 20 weeks of pregnancy, but invariably because of the laparotomy or operative procedures, there is a risk of low birth weight infants, preterm labor, and fetal growth restriction. But no much difference is found between the laparoscopy and open surgeries, laparotomy. Can you see the inflammation over there? Red congestion, and it is appendicitis. Complications are abortion, fetal loss. In about 15% cases, it's high, very high in first trimester. Second trimester is relatively safe. Decrease for birth weight. Other surgical complications like wound infection, atelectasis can be there. There is no increased infertility with all this. No congenital malformation. No stillborn infants. If other there are no other causes of complication. Bowel obstruction is not so common in pregnancy, but it is mainly secondary to increased PID prevalence and increased surgeries resulting in more adhesions. So what we are concluding with all these lectures is that surgical emergencies do happen even if we don't want any emergencies or surgical emergencies in pregnancy for baby and the mother, but things happen. If it is there, surgical emergency we are facing, call consultants early. Delay in diagnosis can cause serious problems. Better diagnostic modalities are available because of MRI and other methods. Medical care and surgical care both are improved in a large quantity nowadays, so you can utilize it, all resulting in the improvement of maternal and fetal outcome. Than the latter era, we are in a very good situations, and that's we are concluding. Thank you very much, and stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you. Have a good week.